It's game time. The Kid Gowie. Ravens Nation. All we know is purple and black. And if you're not a Ravens fan, welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, where opponents don't make it out alive unless we bury them. Every team be afraid of them, especially all the quarterbacks, cause our defensive linemen won't hesitate to leave you sack. Let's take a minute, go back to Super Bowl 35. Domination was an understatement up against the Giants. Numerous touchdowns, they put up numbers, and it didn't take a nutritionist to see they hunger. Only stat Kerry Collins could get was interceptions. He must have thought throwing to the D counted as receptions. The pass was legendary, but don't sleep on the present. Our secondary make quarterbacks avoid their direction. You tryna run the ball, you better hope your blockers work. You can juke, you can spin, but your destination's the turf. This is a man's game, being soft will get you hurt. Watch the defense force a fumble and the fans go berserk. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go! They always win when the championship's on the line. So if you hoping that they failed, then you really wasting your time. Go and ask the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they remember when they made a comeback, but weren't declared the winners. 2 rings down, but you know they won't stop now. If the opposing D's caught slipping, you know exactly how that goes. That's another deep connection for 6 points in the end zone. The stadium goes wacko as Ravens put in work. Pittsburgh Steelers, that still curtain is looking more like a skirt. So tell me who they say is gonna beat them Bengals. Who used to be the Browns until they relocated? Ravens, they are one of the greatest. There's simply no denying it. To beat them, bringing your A game's a requirement. With the youth of the team, I bet they still be dominant, even after the greatest linebacker's retirement. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go!
Welcome to another edition of szg Sports. I was just gonna say AFC North Talk because I'm used to saying AFC North Talk. Shout out to all of you that are watching live. Shout out to people who are gonna watch the replay of this video. If you want to be a caller, text at 443-292-2337. 443-292-2337. Text me, I'll give you a call back. So yeah. Get into it. We're gonna be talking about the performance about the Ravens against the Jaguars, and you know, I like to grade the players. I'm gonna be grading the players. I also, you come to the channel for honesty, and I know there is a set out there of things that Ravens Twitter wants you to say, wants you to push. And I know some of y'all get upset with me when I'm Ravens Twitter. I put things, and I'm gonna discuss those things. But again, when you come here, it's because you know I'm gonna give you honesty. A player that I critique his last year in here was last year as a starter at least was one of my favorite players, Tony Jefferson, and because he was one of my favorite players, that didn't mean that I wasn't gonna criticize him, right? That being said, sorry, let me make sure this is on, not disrupting the stream. That being said, we'll talk about this team in totality. And I'm gonna start with the coaching staff. Look, I love Harbaugh. Harbaugh has been here forever. But Harbaugh also has to look internally. My biggest pet peeve this year with John Harbaugh is going on fourth down for no reason. That fourth down call, I was mad as hell before the call. Even if they would have made it, I actually did not care. To be honest, if you watch me in AFC North Talk, you know the whole going on fourth for no reason. Before that, we drove, field goal. Well, we're going to talk about the offense soon. And then we drove again, field goal. And during those two times, the defense has stopped the Jaguars. Right? So 6-0, we're moving the ball. We're in the 45, 50 yard. I don't remember where we went for it. We go for it. Why? We have the momentum. You punt, you pinned in deep. Your defense is playing great at that moment. Field position. Your hope is your defense keeps doing what it's doing. Stops and you get the ball back. You go for it. You miss the fourth down. Jaguars drive for a touchdown. Right? And this was a field goal game by both teams, right? We're talking about the Jaguars had two touchdown passes, and maybe a rushing one. Let me, before you guys fact check me. No, three touchdown passes for Trevor Lawrence. That was one, right? That was one. And I was like, why? Why are you trying to change the momentum? You ping them down. You got a fourth round punter that has played well, right? Nothing against him. Why you're not punting and pinging them down and say to your defense, now go. Okay. On offense. People see, the problem with the offense is Giro should be criticized. He should be criticized, but people talk about Giro as if Giro is the only problem. There's problems in this offense. Giro might be a problem. He's not the problem. He's certainly not the problem, but he's a problem. You know, because there was tons of drops. I think it was 7 drops in this game, right? And a fumble. If you want to say, well, who's the biggest issue in this offense? It's called Eric DaCosta, because Eric DaCosta put this offensive team together. So if you think that offensive team, receiver-wise, is not performing, Eric DaCosta, look, where y'all saying that Mark Andrews dropped an easy touchdown? Great play call. They fake the run. Mark Andrews leaks, wide open, can catch the ball. By the way, when on the back of the end zone, Robinson, Lamar throws a strike, drop it. Well, early in the first quarter, I think it was a post out, deep pass, Lamar's overthrows it. Right? Another one, Josh Allen running down the seam, wide open, Lamar overthrows him. I don't hear nobody saying, oh my God, what happened? Giro put that call. The read was there. The guys were wide open. The play wasn't executed. And again, you're coming here because you're gonna hear everybody's gonna get some dirt, right? EDC should get it. Nobody talks about EDC. People talk about EDC as he is the MFer Godfather. Nah, Godfather's Aussie. This dude's still learning. Still learning. But anyway, Giro, also because then there's a point that your offense gets stacked. And I feel like when the offense gets stacked, Giro doesn't know how to. Now, that being said, in the red zone again, and the Mark Andrew ones, we ended up scoring a touchdown in that play. Okay. The Josh Oliver one, that was a red zone that we went field goal. Giro called play, it should have been a touchdown. On the Robinson one, we ended up scoring a field goal. But that was a touchdown also if Robinson calls the ball. So we're talking about Giro. Again, he gets into his own hands. Sometimes I think he gets too cute and starts getting into his own ways. Gets a little monotonous, but he's not the problem. And if you just listen to Ravens Twitter, you will think Giro is the problem. And Giro is not the problem. He is a problem. Now let me, because again, I'm going coaching. Players are coming soon. McDonald. Third and forever. This is where if you're going to dial a blitz, this is when you need to dial a blitz a la Wink. What does that mean? You need to dial a blitz and you're going to play man. Look, I don't blame him for that last touchdown drive. I just hate when the teams play soft zone. The whole soft zone concept is just boggling to me. And I get it, right? You don't want to get burned deep quickly like what happened in Miami. I get it. But your defense was playing good. That you softened that zone too much, and it was just easy completions for Lawrence. 10, 15, 12, 13, 8, 7. He softened the zone too much. I criticize McDonald a lot this year. I think he's learning. You see his growth in play call. You see how he's progressed. Yesterday, shout out, you want to know a unit that play a hell of a ball? Jaguars O-line. Because our defense penetration wasn't there. They got a couple of times, but it wasn't a lot. 3rd and 23. You want to know where the game was lost in 3rd and 23? Jacksonville gets 18 yards, 17 yards, 60. I don't know. It was a lot. It went to 4th and manageable, and then they convert 4th again, playing soft zone. Play soft zone. So McDonald. Okay. Now let's talk about this offense. If you talk about a unit that gets a F-, that will be the wide receiving core. The wide receiving core with Robinson had a bad game. Duvernay had a bad game. Prochet is in a milk carton because you can barely see him. I had high hopes for Prochet. Djax, yes, hell of a catch on that one. And Djax, we should put him a nickname. Djax will be one catch Djax, because as soon as he catches a ball, he disappears because he gets hurt. He looked like he got hurt in the hand. I'm not sure where he got hurt. In that Saints game, he got hurt as well. We have a super chat real quick here. Devon Allen here says, Giro gets the blame because he don't make the game easy for his QB. When you see these other OCs, they make the passing game easier for the elite quarterbacks. Lamar don't have that luxury. Shout out to you. Thank you for the donation. Again, go back. There was plays for him to be made. Some Lamar overthrew, some the receivers dropped them, right? I hear this complaint it's funny because when I talk to Ace after a loss, he would tell me, Zach Taylor doesn't know how to call a play. Gameplay has been bad. How they're calling the game playing is horrible. But if a Raven fan sees them after a win, that's what I want. It's after a loss, this is what happens, right? We all, here first. I'll be the first to admit we are all prisoners of the moment. We are. And again, I'm not trying to deflect the blame from Giro. I just think we put all the blame on Giro, and there's blame to go around. wide receiving core being one. And this wide receiving core, look, Robinson's a nice receiver. He had a bad game. He's a nice receiver. I think in an ideal situation, he's your running wide receiver 2 or 3. Ideally 3. Duvernay, I thought he could be a wide receiver 2. He's also a wide receiver 3. Prochet's a wide receiver 4 or 5. So when you see your wide receiving core, it's like low grade. Now, if we go to the tight ends, look, Likely let him play, but Likely has been dropping the ball a lot. And for some reason, looks like that spread out to my guy, Mark Andrews. What is it with the drops? This is not the only game that he has dropped the ball. He dropped the ball, was in the previous game or maybe the one before. He dropped it, I think, twice again. One for a touchdown, once would have been a good completion. And you would say, Sonny, the defender made a good play. The defender made a good play after the initial drop. After he bobbled, the defender did a smart play, pull his arms out, done. Okay, Mark Andrews, not good. Josh Oliver, I would say Mark Andrews will give him a C. Josh Oliver, I thought he had a hell of a game. Very good game. Very good game. Even on that last play where he catch, and you would say like, oh man, 2 more yards. But yeah, look, he was trying to go to the outside. Now, Harbaugh should have communicated, or somebody in the coaching staff should have communicated, like, Cash, look at the clock, try to get, because the defense is trying to not allow that corner. You had 2 timeouts, doesn't matter. Run at 2 seconds, give yourself out, call timeout right away, stop the ball. But even that, I don't blame. He got enough yards, right? I think if Tucker, instead of because I understood why Tucker elevated so much, and that was a great kick. If he brings it down a little bit, hopefully it doesn't get blocked, but maybe he makes it. Okay. So wide receivers, we go tight ends. Let's talk about O-line. I thought Moses had another strong game. I thought he had pretty good game. Seidler, another strong game. Oh, by the way, let me say this: the whole delayed game, you need to fix whoever it is. If it is Lamar breaking the huddle too late, if it is Giro taking too long to give the play, whatever it is, it's not a Linderbaum, because by the time that sometimes they break the play, the huddle, and you see people shifting, and it's like 4 seconds to go, and Linderbaum's like waiting because you don't want an illegal formation, right? Anyway, Linderbaum, good game as well. And then on the left guard, Powers actually had a solid game, I think. The person that had the weakest game was Macari. Macari was struggling here and there. It wasn't like it was awful, but he was struggling a little bit. So hopefully Stanley comes back, because that definitely makes a difference. Running backs, Drake was not existing in this game. Let me see if I can pull you a stats sheet here. Drake only ran it twice for 2 yards. Justice Hills 1 for 3. Duvernay 2 sweeps for 16 yards. Gus was running the ball well. Gus was running the ball effectively. And then he fumbled. And that fumble is hard because it's coming from the back. But again, you need to secure the ball, because that was a short field, right? Like there, that defense. I mean, obviously, you want the defense to do maybe a little more, but they held him. So, but overall, I think Gus was fine. Obviously, the fumble was the one that killed it. Let's talk now about Lamar. I know there's a comment going around in Twitter space. The comment was out of line as what he said. Other than that, I actually had no problem Lamar calling people out. Like, if you go to my Twitter, I said if Lamar would have hit 2 guys, we would have been up 2010, right? If Lamar comes back and tweets at me and says, y'all, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. That guy over there did this, the other guy did that, right? That's fine. And I can go back to him and we can have a debate, a discussion, and that is fine. I actually had no problem with Lamar answering or people hating on him. Right? When you tweet about a player, you're exposing for that player to come back to you. It's the reality, right? And I remember tweeting to Tony Jefferson, Jefferson, let's go, man. Let's become a middle linebacker. He like, dude, what are you talking about? Nah, right? And that all fine. I do think Lamar had a okay game. Like it's different, right? People, the people that are, we all go to corners, right? And people are trying to defend sometimes Lamar too much. Like, this my guy. don't talk about him. And there's other people who just like to hate on Lamar. If you measure him as an MVP, he had a decent game, 50% completion, not great. 1 touchdown pass, which was good. And on the running side, he had a pretty good game as well. So, but overall, he missed a lot of opportunities, and those are critical because a couple of those opportunities could have been a touchdown instead of a field goal. So that is the main thing, right? So Lamar, yes, if you measure him as a former MVP, right, as a guy that's seeking to be the highest paid quarterback in the league, he had a mad game. If you don't think about that and he's just another quarterback, then he had a solid game. But where are you gonna measure it? You measure him as a Patrick Mahomes type of guy, Josh Allen type of guy, Aaron Rodgers, right? Like a top tier QB. So if you're gonna measure him like that, his game was okay. If you're gonna measure him as I don't know, Matt Ryan, then he had a good game. So you see what I'm saying? I think sometimes we try to protect him too much, and I get it because there's a lot of stupid people trying to hit on Lamar. All we have to do is be honest, right? Again, you come here, I'm gonna be honest. When he had a good game, I'm gonna tell you I praise him. When he has a mad game, I'll let you know as well. I think he had a good game, not a great game, not a horrible game. But obviously, you wanted a little bit more about Lamar. I wanted that ball that he hit Djax. That's what I wanted him to hit. Robinson and Oliver. And by the way, some people are saying like, "Oh, Oliver should catch it." Oliver was stretched, and yes, the ball hit his hand as he's completely stretched. I don't blame him at all for that drop on Oliver. Let's go to the defense. The defense had a game. I thought the defense in general played decently. The problem was that at the end, allowing 18 points, right? That is the problem. That is the part that you cannot have. So there is a guy. Again, Ravens Twitter will tell you about a guy, and I got a couple mentions. We need to cut this guy, and that's Brandon Stevens. Brandon Stevens is still quasi a rookie. We draft him to be a corner. He plays slot corner. In the second year, we put him to free safety. Third year, he's going to be like, you're an outside corner. And I think outside corner is his best trait. But he's still learning. Think about Averett. By the time he left here, fourth year, that's when he was more mature. He was playing better. Stevens, last pick on the third round. Being changed at a position. I thought overall, Steven had a good game. And this is where now Sonny gets upset with some of y'all. They're like, "Oh, Steven, you need to cut that guy." Where's Marcus Peters? He allowed 2 touchdowns. Not only the 2 touchdowns, he's getting burned left and right. And every time he gets burned, he looks like, "Why you're not helping me? What do you mean? You're the second highest paid corner in this team. What do you mean why we're not helping you? You should be a shutdown corner. At worst, you should not be getting burned by an average receiver." Wasn't Christian Kirk? That's their best receiver. I don't think Christian Kirk's that guy, but he's a good receiver. Wasn't Christian Kirk? Cy Jones. There was other receivers. Just he had an atrocious game, and I tweeted this. You're only as good as your weakest link. They exploited him. And it wasn't even fair. Like what they were doing to him there. You think he had a rookie there, but everybody knows Stevens because Steven gave up the 2-point conversion. That's why everybody remembers Steven. Who gave up the touchdown? Who? Now that touchdown was iffy. I learned a new rule because I thought you needed the two feet. I thought because the referee called a touchdown, he would have called it incompletion. It probably could have been incompletion as well. But anyway. Stevens, in my opinion, had a solid game. People like to hate on him. And again, same with Avery. It wasn't like Avery was a elite corner when he left, but he was a solid corner. But you know who should be elite? Again, Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters, you pay him the money. He's leaving after this year. but to be an elite receiver corner, and he's not there anymore. He's not. And at this point, the problem also Geno Stone. Geno Stone had a solid game. He's been having solid games. You almost want Geno Stone to roll his coverage completely to Marcus Peters, which is sad because again you're paying Marcus Peters all this money to do what? It's getting burned. Nah. Linebackers, I thought linebackers had a decent game, but when they went from ETN to what was his name? Hasty. Hasty has some decent runs, but overall, shut down the run, and you would think if you shut down the run, you have a good game. Nope. So the linebackers had a good game. Roquan Smith saved one that the guy, I think it was Hasty. I thought the guy was gone. I thought the guy was gonna have a touchdown. Roquan Smith saved that touchdown. Overall good. I think the D-line, interior D-line, plays solid again, helping on the running side. Washington has first sack. The problem, my outside backers. Houston, we have a problem. Where were you? Odafe Owe, talk about a guy with high expectations that hasn't produced this year. Odafe Owe, a guy that I was hoping, I was praying, I wanted him to have a good year. As I said, look, my favorite plays are trenches plays. Give me some good O-line, give me some great D-line outside backers. We haven't had good outside backers since Duvernay. Not Devin Duvernay. Elvis Duvernay. I get them right. And then Suggs, right? Odafe Owe, first round pick, right? Where is he? Houston didn't have a great game. Bowser affected, right? Bowser got the fumble, but Bowser I think is playing. Like if you say, Sonny, who's your starting two right now? If you have to make a play, put me Bowser, put me Odafe, put me Houston. Third, JPP. Fourth, Odafe Owe. That's how low in my chart he is. Not playing good. I don't know what's up with him right now. Not playing good. Not beating his guy. He was supposed to be a force. He was supposed to be this fast guy. Now, Jacksonville has a good O-line, but this is not a Jacksonville only problem. Go back. This is the same problem. Doomerville. Yes, Doom. I used to call him Doom, and now with Duvernay, I'm all over the place. Anyway. So we couldn't generate pressure. Not generating pressure. Soft zone. Lawrence, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not great. Okay. And my safeties, they were okay. I mean, they did their thing. I actually don't think the defense played that bad. Obviously, the fourth quarter was not great for them. If we convert all our red zone plays, half of them on touchdowns, we're winning. We're winning this game. We're comfortably winning this game. But receivers are a problem. Receivers dropping the ball are a problem. If you want to play somebody in the coaching staff, bring EDC first. Then you can start with not only Giro, Harbaugh, because the whole going for it is this. I'm done with that shit. And I know Lamar likes to go for it, and I'm done. Oh, I did tweet this also. I said Lamar does a lot of great things, but she does, right? He throws the ball well, he passes the ball well, he runs the ball well, he frustrates defense. You know what Lamar does not do well, and he has never done it? Sneak the ball. Because you will say sometimes he will like sneak the ball as he will like grab it and find a crease and run a little bit. Now I'm talking about literally sneak the ball as a sneak, as I'm going in, diving in. Lamar doesn't do good. Not because he fumbled. After fumble, he didn't make it. He does not do well to sneak the ball. One thing I would like to see, by the way, a play that I said it in the AFC North, and then he ran it twice in 2 different games, which is he faked where Lamar was running back on the side, and then the tight end leak, right? Love that play. Another play that I would like is the same play, tight end leaks, right? Let's say Mark Andrews the one leaking, and at the same time you get Likely leaking out on the other side, almost as a wheel route on the outside. Now this is a dangerous throw if the safety is nowhere near, right? if everybody goes with Mark Andrews and the other tight end could be a receiver, but a tight end will be sold better. Is a wheel route out the seam. Is a long ass pass, but if the safety came down because of the run or Andrews, he's gonna be wide open. That's the next play that I want Giro to do. So other than that, guys, I mean, it was a frustrating game. Effort, it looked like lack of effort at the end. They need to look and figure out why. Okay, let me see some of your comments here, and if anybody wants to be in the show, this is the time to text, and now I can get you in. Let me see here. Stevens need to be in the slot, and we keep Humphrey out, especially for critical plays. I mean, Steven hasn't been playing as much with Hamilton there, which Hamilton was missed. Eli and Humphrey was a positive. Humphrey has been playing excellent football. All pro corner. Gotta lump the defense as an entire unit. They gave up those score drives at the end. Yeah, I mean, we cannot cover the sum with our hands. Yes, they did. It was a team collapse at the fourth quarter, which, man, Peters and Steven are taking advantage of. I would say Peters first, and then Stevens. Yes. It's not. I'm not here saying Steven was great, right? But definitely, you pay Peters to be that guy, and he's not been that guy. The Ravens don't deserve a generation talent player like Lamar. They have proven over the past 5 years they don't. Okay, shaking my hand. They need Jimmy G or Kirk. No, they don't need those two guys. Look, the Ravens are doing the same MO that they did with Flacco. And Raven had a good video, one of his good videos, because he does a lot of videos. Shout out to my guy in Raven. And I did comment in that video. I try not to comment much because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to dish or anything. And he said in the past 5 years they're not invested in Lamar Jackson. And I have a pushback for that. Yes, they do definitely invest more on the defensive side, or they had on the free agency side. And they are always linked to a lot of guys on the offensive side, but they haven't been able to close the deal. But where they have is, for me, before receivers, is that O-line, right? And they have built a good O-line. Stanley obviously is hurt again. But from right tackle to left tackle, that O-line is really good when everybody's healthy. Then you will say, Sonny, but receivers, well, they have tried. Might be the problem again, EDC. The people don't like to talk about EDC. But if you think about it, with Flacco, they made that trade for Bolden. Bolden was a good receiver. And for us, was a great receiver. But he was not a top-of-the-line receiver. But he was a good, solid receiver. Okay. That was it. They drafted Torrey Smith in the second round. That's basically all there is there for Joe Flacco, right? And then just get bets like they're doing with Lamar Jackson. Okay. On the flip side, with Lamar Jackson, in 5 years, 2 first-round picks have been spent on receivers. Bateman, hurt again. A guy that I love, but he's hurt again. And Hollywood Brown, that is playing Arizona because he didn't want to play here. So investments have been made, and then while they figured the tight end, we have been getting more value for the tight end. So let me double down on there. And that's what they did. Okay. The wide receivers. So this is from Lenny. They need to get Flacco back. Let's get it. The wide receiver core dropped more touchdowns than Lamar missed or overthrew 50% completion because of 8 drops. Lamar played good enough to win. The defense must close. I don't disagree with anything you're saying here, Lenny. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, you overthrew a guy as an elite quarterback. You're like, come on, I needed to hit that guy. Overthrow a second guy as an elite quarterback. You start to look yourself, say like, I cannot make those errors, right? And obviously the receivers were atrocious. They were atrocious in yesterday's. Half the fan base will think Joe will win them a ball. Joe Flacco, not anymore. Avery was a headache, but True Sonny, he kind of came around. He came. Oh wait, who's that? I didn't realize the impact Kyle Hamilton had on this D. We really miss him against the Jacks, yes. And I don't know how many weeks he'll be out. So um, the defense wasn't aggressive enough on that last drive. 3rd and 21, they gave us 16 yards and gave a 4th and 5. Pitiful. Yeah, and this is the problem. This is where I said early in the stream about McDonald. You are on 3rd and 21. Anything more than 10 yards that you gave was a failure. You basically cover anything that is 10 yards tight. And if somebody wants to get a 6-yard reception, then you collapse, yes. And then a 4th and 5, yeah. At that moment, the defense was deflated. Dumerville. Yeah, I gotta keep effing it up, Lex. And I used to love him. Definitely a team loss, yeah, and it hurts. And tomorrow I'm gonna eat crow in the AFC North talk. I am. If our defense has stopped one of the 4th down plays, yes, no doubt. We started doing screens more, but I didn't see running back screen. I think they fake it to the running back. They threw it to Ricard. I think people were making too much out of it. They did screen to Ricard, and then the next play, Lamar goes to Ricard. I don't think the play was designed to Ricard. He couldn't find anything else, and then he just threw it to Ricard. Tanya here says, why does Roman call such a slow offense? Lamar plays fast, and the receivers get in rhythm when we aren't so stacked. There's a point to that. We are kind of slow. Again, the whole play calling thing is baffles me. That the whole why are we so slow to the line of scrimmage? That needs to be fixed, whatever it is. And I'm talking about something I'm tired. Tyler Harper's like, oh, we'll fix it soon. We'll fix it. We'll get better. We're in week 12? Should be fixed. The only good thing about ADC is that he is aggressive. Only thing I like about he's aggressive, I guess, in the trade deadline. Bowling was a great weapon. He was. I love Bowling. By the way, I keep saying the receiver type that we need is Anquan Bolden or T-Spit, a dog. I need a guy that will fight for it. Payman, as much as I love, he ain't that guy. Duvernay is not that guy. Pro is not that guy. So we don't have no guy that is willing to fight for the ball. That's the guy. That's what we need. We don't have that guy. The later game doesn't allow Lamar to read the field and make adjustment. He has to throw the football with 0 on the clock. Look at Djax. That was a number 1. Does count down with it every. I'm assuming you're saying that Djax came down with it because he had time. Yeah. Every QB drops, passes, stop it. Every QB drops. Yeah. Tanya, I'm not saying Lamar has to be perfect, but I'm saying after the first overthrow, right? The next one, you're like, what? Look at what they're saying about Rodgers in Green Bay. Same thing. He's overthrowing guys. And this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Lamar is trash or that Lamar had a horrible game, but you had to call when he had bad plays, and he had some bad plays. The receivers have worse play because the receiver dropped 2 touchdowns, right? But Lamar has some bad plays. It is what it is. He needs to clean that up. He needs to find a way to hit because it wasn't like this game was the only one that he overthrew guys. He's been overthrowing guys. So he needs to figure out, why am I overthrowing guys and how can I clean that up? That's it. Going for that 4th down was a turning point. Should have kicked the field goal and keep the momentum. Yes, I thought they were in punting range, as I remember. But if they were in field goal range, even worse. Every QB has drops. We just don't mention every time they drop a ball. What about the 8 drops from the receiver? Where is his number 1? A real deep ball receiver came down with the ball, DJ. Okay, so yes, I mentioned the drops. I give the receivers an F-. Mantrus also. Yes, there's a lot of bad things in the receiver. We don't have a receiver one. Yes, the only closest thing is Bateman. He's hurt. Yes, and as I said earlier, the guy for me to play in here is EDC. EDC constructed this team on the wide receiver core. He decided to do this. Look, Ojabo, which we'll get it. He might be a hell of a receiver. He should have not been the pick. If you like this roster was constructed as they're going all in. George Pickens was there, right? And there are other receivers that were there. The guy Watson in Green Bay looked good. He has some drops, which I hate. But overall, like, who's that guy? We don't have none of that. We don't. So I get your frustration, Tanya. But Lamar had some miscues. Was he the reason we lost? No, he wasn't. But he did have some miscues. He's only aggressive on defense. Lamar needs a dog. Yeah, this is a fact on for EDC. On the trade deadline, you know where he's trading for a defensive player, not an offensive player. I'm sure DJ Moore was available. I'm sure. A guy that I'm hoping is available, and look, I'll trade the number 1 pick for him right now, especially if we're keeping Lamar. D-Hop. Bring that guy home. That's the receiver we want / need. We didn't even use our other running backs. It looked like Edwards was like 85%. I mean, he was running the ball fairly well, Edwards. Every time I watch George Pickens play, damn, I cry a little bit. What if? And he's a dog. We should have used Justice Hill. Maybe. Justice Hill had one good game. After that, he has sort of faded away. Maybe. Edwards looked to be running fine. He did. Tanya said, I came in late, Sonny. I just get frustrated at 5 years now, and I didn't help Lamar, and his defense didn't carry him home. That's where the money. Yeah. So a couple of things. I do think you can question the selection. When we drafted Hollywood Brown, I hated the pick. I remember wanting AJ Brown. I remember I said the dude in Seattle. I'm blanking his name right now. I said maybe in the second or third. And I actually remember after drafting Hollywood Brown, he was dropping the guy in Seattle, which I'm blanking his name. And I said, come back and get him. This is a good place. And the reason why I didn't like it was his injury history. But in the like with Flacco, they never drafted a wide receiver in the first round. Torrey Smith in the second. With Lamar in 5 years, they had drafted 2 first rounders. It's just they haven't been the guy. They've been bad picks. And again, it all goes down to EDC. He's the one making the picks. Ultimately, why are you picking these guys? Look, as much as I love Hamilton, right? And the pick that I wanted was a defensive player that went to the Eagle, right? Davis. The pick at 14 should have not been Hamilton. It should have been Linderbaum. If we're completely honest, it should have been Linderbaum. But Linderbaum, we were able to get a 28. My beef in that draft, the Hollywood Brown trade was done. So you knew you're not going to have Hollywood Brown, right? So it's not like you have Hollywood and Bateman. You're sitting at 14. You know what? I'm going to pull the draft. Hold on. Because I need to... I need water. We need to talk with, I think it's 2022. 2021, but it's 2022. Yeah. We're sitting there at 14. And by the way, I like Kyle Hamilton. He's looking good. But Garrett Wilson goes at 10. You've seen that. Chris Olave is there at 11. Why are you not trading? New Orleans traded with Washington to get Olave. Why are you not trading up? That is the move that you should have made. You know Hollywood Brown, you don't have him anymore. But okay. AJ Brown's out there in the market. AJ Brown was traded for what pick? Where is it? Tennessee. It's in the 20s, right? The Titans 18. You couldn't get the 14 for I want to see all the trade. 16. Where are you? Multiple trades, Cleveland to Houston to Philadelphia. Where's this? Tennessee. Okay. So a first and a third for AJ Brown. You're telling me the Ravens could have traded the 14 and a third, maybe multiple fourths for AJ Brown? For AJ Brown? Again, y'all want to blame Giro. Giro's playing with what he has. I think Giro is not great, but he has, again, the theme was Giro is a problem, Giro is not the problem, right? That's important. EDC is as big of a problem that if you want to blame that Giro, people love EDC around here. EDC is a problem. This picks have been good. Defensive picks have been good. Where's the offense? Linderbaum looks good. Offensive line looks great. Receivers. And now, if let's say this, I think we can all acknowledge we suck drafting receivers, right? Let's say, well, Sonny, we just suck drafting receivers. Look at Bateman right now. He hurt again. Hollywood Brown was not really great with us. He was okay. Then AJ Brown's there. Why you don't trade? You know you're gonna get another first because you're gonna trade for Hollywood Brown. Why are you not trading for our guy, for AJ Brown? Kyle Hamilton was electric because I like how he's been playing, right? But he's electric because you just got a Williams, the other safety, Marcus. Those are the moves the Sonny at least gets mad as hell. That's it. Lex Garcia says, I want an AJ Brown or DK. Thank you. Hollywood is the best pick ADC ever made. He's been okay. I don't know about best. He never played like a first round receiver. I think Linderbaum is his best. Linderbaum has been playing great. EDC didn't want a dog. They scare of the receivers with the some heart like Pickens. Our receivers aren't developed and too nice. Yes, everything. Thing with Pickens, not only he's a dog, he does make bonehead mistakes. But I would have taken a chance. And the second round, yes. I like how Hamilton pick, but I would have preferred wide receiver. Giro ran Hollywood out of Baltimore, so there's no point in counting him as an investment for Lamar. Willie's need that's Hollywood. All say Giro is the problem. Once Deshaun leaves, I expected the same. Okay, I think the thing is, this offense is not conducive to a high passing game. Okay. In the case of AJ Brown, he's used to that. He's used to being almost 50-50. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you pounding the ball. And because when you pound the ball effectively, that other defense almost wants to quit. Thing is, we have run the ball well, but we haven't run the ball as to make a defense quit yet. Hollywood just wants to make the most money he can. He knew he wasn't going to get it here. And that's true for everybody. That's true. Anyway, guys, with that, I'm going to, get it here. Almost 50 minutes. Thank you for everybody that's joining me here. I'll try to do this more often again in the future. If you want to call the numbers there, you text me and I'll put you in the show. Tomorrow, AFC North Talk, I would appreciate it if some of you showed up. Again, I'm going to be eating some crow. I know that they're coming hard for us. It's okay because we're still first. The path is there to win the division. Ravens, are you going to take over? Or are you just going to just lay down? The opportunity is there. This is just a loss. We can definitely bounce back and just win it all. We did it in 2012. Why not this year? Have a great night, guys. See you tomorrow. Peace out.